finally, Scott Formo. Over the past 2 years, MSCSA has accomplished some great things that have made a positive impact on the students across the state of Minnesota. Whether it was the groundbreaking textbook legislation passed at the legislature this year, or the successful leadership conference that was held in Brainerd this past fall, none of the progress within the association would have been possible without the dedicated leadership of Scott Formo. As Vince Lombardi, the Hall of Fame NFL coach, once said, "Leaders aren't born, they are made." And they are made, just like anything else, through hard work. There is no better example to illustrate this wisdom of these words than in Scott. Regardless of the task, he puts everything into every undertaking he endures, and he doesn't give up until the job is done. Whether it was his hours of work on textbooks, transfer issues, creating legislative strategies, writing legislation or testimony, meeting with lawmakers, testifying before the Minsky Board of Trustees, working with the United States Student Association on the federal level, or simply doing the everyday work that needs to get done, Scott is a classic example of a leader who leads by example. Scott is almost always the first one at the office and the last to leave when the occasion calls for it. Frequently, I receive emails from Scott at 4 in the morning, and that's proof of his tireless dedication to students of this association. It is indeed an honor for me to present this token of appreciation to Scott for his diligent and endless work on behalf of the students of the Minnesota State College Student Association.
I get through this. I know that I had some troubles last year, and it's the reason I didn't step up here right away when Justin Hammond presented me the award, because I knew I wouldn't be able to get through it again. It's been a great 2 years. It really has. I want to thank all the students here and everybody for your support and for your trust in my leadership and my work. All I can say is that the best advice that I can give to any of you is to try to take the same advice that I gave myself. Just get up every day, do your best, try your hardest, and don't be afraid to take chances. You're not always going to win, but you're not always going to lose either. But if you never take a chance, you're never going to know. I never thought that I would be in a place or in a position like this today. When I graduated from high school, I went off to college. I had a little bit of fun. I got bored. I dropped out, got married, had a family, got a job. But one of my high school dreams was always to be a leader. It was to go into politics, it was to work in law, and where I was going with my life wasn't ever trying to fulfill my dreams. A few years ago, I went through a number of changes in my life, and it allowed me an opportunity to start over. And I decided that with a second chance, I was going to take it as far as I could, and I was going to make those dreams come true. And so I went back to college. I got involved in my campus student government at Alec Tech. I got to know MSCSA just very briefly. I attended one meeting and decided this is something that I want to do because it was leading me in the direction that I always wanted to go. So I joined the governing council. The year that I was in the governing council was somewhat of a tough year for me. I was going through transition at home and getting used to doing something that I had never done before but always wanted to. Was really hard. It took time away from my family. It took time away from the other things that were important to me, but it was also just as important to me to make sure that I continued to do what I've always wanted to do. From the governing council, I ran for president last year, and last year was an amazing year. This year was an amazing year too. As I said in my speech last year when I ran for president, I did part of what I wanted to do or what I set out to do during my first term, but I didn't feel that my job was finished. I didn't do as much as what I wanted to do, and I didn't think I had made enough of an effort to really get to where I thought I could get to. So I tried to run for a second year. I won a second term, and now I do feel confident that I did everything I could. I'm looking out here across the room and seeing all of you and all the great leaders who have been with me the past couple of years, and looking over at the cabinet and the day-to-day work that we've done. I know that I've gotten to where I set out to get to. It's time for a change. It's time to move on. But this experience has been the best experience of my life, and I owe it all to you. Thank you very much.